Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one, and welcome back to World of Warships with Rear Admiral Jingles. As you can no doubt tell from the 7 versus 7 shorter than average team lists at the top of the screen there, what we have for you today is a Tier 8 ranked battle. As such, both team lists consist of the usual suspects, mostly German battleships, Scharnhorsts, Bismarcks, Derpitzes, oh my. In one of these Derpitzes, what is the plural of Derpitz anyway? Derpitzes? Derpitzies? Oh, I don't know. In one of them, we have today's hero, Hantel 97. The Derpitz and its sister ship, the Bismarck, both of which are present in today's battle, are completely no-brainer, 100% understandable picks for this game mode at this rank, Tier 8. Because, well, it's just a really good ship. It doesn't have any gimmicks, it doesn't have any funny buttons, she doesn't have any alternate fire modes, she doesn't have any alternate ammunition consumables, there's nothing gimmicky about this ship. It's just well armoured, decent amount of hit points, great secondaries, main gun batteries are fine. They're certainly not great, but they're definitely not bad. They're certainly not the ship's greatest feature. She's armed with 15 rather than the expected 16-inch guns at Tier 8, and she does only have 8 of them, but this is offset by the fact that the reload is only 26 seconds, and while unlike her sister ship, the Bismarck, she doesn't get that excellent German long-range and long-duration hydro, she does get torpedoes. She was in fact the first battleship in the game to have torpedoes, which led to one of her initial nicknames being the Derpitz. Her other initial nickname wasn't nearly as flattering, because she was also the first German battleship to be introduced into World of Warships. And not just any old German battleship. This is the Derpitz, the sister ship to the mighty Bismarck. And the Derpitz was released on sale as a premium Tier 8 battleship in anticipation of the release of the actual German tech tree. This thing went on sale just a couple of months shy of 10 years ago, and unsurprisingly, it sold like hotcakes. Equally unsurprisingly, a lot of the people who bought it had absolutely no idea how to play a high-tier battleship, which led to the Derpitz's other nickname. Slightly less flattering than the Derpitz, the Derpitz was known as the Derpitz, due to the number of people sailing it who didn't have the faintest idea what they were doing, why they were doing it, or where they should be doing it. Although I think some of the blame for the abysmal performance of the majority of Derpitz players can probably be laid at the foot of certain YouTube videos released prior to the actual thing going on sale, showing the Derpitz taking advantage of the fact that nobody expected a battleship to have torpedoes, and there were some fairly infamous YouTube clips where people would sail their Derpitzes right between two other battleships, which normally would be quite suicidal, and then kill them both in a sort of torpedo drive-by, taking them completely by surprise. Hang on a second, what was going on in chat there? Did you see that? The other Derpitz on his team is calling Hantel an idiot. Why? I don't get it. What's he doing that's so stupid? Well, speaking of something that's stupid, much in the same way that people will watch Flambass going down the middle in Two Brothers and literally humiliating the enemy team doing it and then try to do it themselves and find out that actually it's a little bit more complicated and, oh, I just died. People would try to emulate the torpedo drive-by torpedo attacks seen in those early YouTube videos, and, well, yeah, it often didn't work out well for them, leading to the Derpitz nickname associated with the Derpitz. The ship did actually have its own nickname. It was called the Lonely Queen of the North, because she spent most of World War II either being built in Wilhelmshaven while being repeatedly bombed by the Royal Air Force without ever actually hitting her once. I mean, seriously, look at the size of this thing. How do you miss? And then being fitted out in Kiel, again, while being bombed by the Royal Air Force without ever once hitting it. And then spending the rest of her career tied up in a fjord in Norway while being bombed by the Royal Air Force over a period of 2.5 years without ever hitting her until late 1944, when they finally managed to score 3 hits. Even the Russians had a go. They sent 15 aircraft from the other direction. Only 4 of them even made it to the target. It's not true to say that the Derpitz never saw any action. She did. Her anti-aircraft gun crews certainly saw a lot of action, but she only ever really fired the main gun batteries in anger once. by blowing up a Norwegian weather station on an island just off the coast of Norway somewhere. in, I think, 1940. So, on the one hand, you could argue that the Derpitz represented a colossal investment in German resources that succeeded in blowing up a Norwegian weather station. At the same time, though, the mere fact of the Derpitz's existence was enough to force the Royal Navy to expend colossal amounts of resources protecting the Arctic convoys. Oh, enemy Derpitz just scored the enemy team's second kill. And then Hentel's secondaries claim his team's first. They're still a good 100 points behind, but it's a start, and these 15-inch guns do only have a 26-second reload. He's able to get the shots out at the Baltimore while it was still spotted. It's gone undetected. Focuses the secondaries on... There, he's got him. Not quite quick enough for a double strike, but a kill's a kill. And the scores are now basically even. He's got the island between himself and the Bismarck, so he refocuses his secondaries on the Scharnhorst 43 just as the secondary battery reload time buff kicks in. Now the Scharnhorst 43 is a very good, some might even say slightly overpowered Tier 7 battleship. And while it's almost impossible to citadel a German battleship at Tier 7 or higher at this kind of short range due to the turtleback armour, you can still deal substantial amounts of chunk damage. And while the Scharnhorst secondaries are very, very good, it ain't no Derpitz. Note that Hentel is deliberately slowing here. Oh, I think we've discovered the location of the Xianyang. It might be behind him somewhere. Okay, good to know. There goes the Scharnhorst. Note that Hentel was slowing down there because he didn't want to be fighting the Scharnhorst and the Bismarck at the same time. And the Bismarck does have him at something of a disadvantage. The Bismarck currently has more than twice his hit points. It's not currently suffering from a double fire the way Hentel is, and while both of them have equally powerful secondaries, Hentel has one huge advantage in a close range fight that the Bismarck does not. Yes, he has torpedoes. Pretty sure the Bismarck knows this. And Hentel also knows that if he's going to survive this fight, he's going to have to hit with all of these torpedoes because he's got less than 10,000 hit points and he's on fire. And he does. And that's kill number 4. The team are actually ahead. What's going on? Oh, that's the other Derpitz on his team. The one who called him an idiot at the start of the battle for no apparent reason. Any ideas why? Did he just feel like randomly throwing out insults? Seriously, what exactly was Hentel doing at the start of the battle that was so bad? That guy over there decided he was an idiot and felt it was necessary to publicly announce such. Well, while we try to figure that out, Hentel's doing a couple of things. First and foremost, he's flipping this cap because it is only 3 against 2. But one of those is an extremely sneaky destroyer with deep water torpedoes, and he doesn't have a lot of hit points. So the other thing he's doing is waiting for his heel to come off cooldown. With the island in the way, he is able to get some initial shots out against the Bayard without being spotted. Some hits would be nice to reset that cap. Ooh, those were nice hits. I mean, a kill would have been better. But the cap does still need resetting. And kills would be good because it looks like the Derpitz that was calling Hentel an idiot is about to suck on a whole bunch of deep water torpedoes courtesy of the enemy. Yep, there it is. The enemy Xianyang. So, friendly Derpitz. Well, I mean, technically friendly, but there was nothing friendly about him in chat. Let's just call him hostile witness. Reduced from full health to nothing in seconds by the Xianyang. Don't know why he went chasing after a destroyer. He doesn't have hydro, he's not a Bismarck, but, well, that's what he did. Which means the scores are now once again basically even. And Hentel is now firing blind, and actually, he's actually scoring hits. Not sinking the Bayard, but again, preventing him from flipping that cap, at least for now. Now we can hope that the Bayard is going to be stupid enough to fire his guns and reveal his location after going undetected, so Hentel can either continue to reset the cap, but given how much hit points the Bayard is probably on, kill him. Unfortunately, he is not that stupid. Hentel, since he's spotted anyway, almost certainly both by the Xianyang and the Bayard, isn't really losing anything by continuing to fire. You never know, we might get lucky. He already did once, it just wasn't enough to sink the Bayard. But now with the Bayard having successfully flipped the cap and remaining undetected, there is a significant torpedo threat. Not just from the Xianyang either. The Bayard's a French cruiser. Unless I'm seriously mistaken, it also has 9-kilometre range torpedoes. So Handel could be sailing into a torpedo crossfire here. I mean, maybe not from the Bayard. I don't know what its concealment is. It might be able to get its concealment down to less than 9 kilometers, in which case, yeah, maybe it can actually stealth torpedo. But the Xianyang certainly can. So given that he doesn't know exactly where the torpedo threat is coming from, and it is almost certainly going to be coming from both sides because they can see him, he starts adjusting his course and speed. And there's the Bayard, spotted by his good friend in the destroyer, the former German Chancellor, Angela Merkel. Unfortunately, I mean, this is a kind of good news, bad news situation. He's probably safe from Bayard torpedoes, and he has just gone undetected, which means wherever the Xianyang is... Oh, that would be where the Xianyang is, and that would be why he just went undetected. Right. Well, thank you for announcing your position and missing. That was nice, because he certainly wasn't looking that way. Notice how the smoke screen is extending to the left. If he gets spotted again, and the Bayard isn't in line of sight, that means the Xianyang has left its smoke screen. In fact, I think it did just pop out of the smoke screen, because, yeah, that's why there was a fraction of a second there when Hentel was once again spotted, and that was the Xianyang nosing out of the smoke screen in order to reacquire him as a target for those torpedoes. Wasn't the Bayard, he's only just popped into line of sight. But pop into line of sight he has. He's very, very quickly regretting it. There's the Kraken Unleashed. That's kill number 5. Now, again, despite the fact that there is definitely still a smokescreen between himself and the Xianyang, you fire guns of these caliber, smokescreen or no, you're going to get spotted by anything on the other side. Antle is playing a very, very dangerous game here, however, because, well, fairly clearly, the Xianyang is nobody's fool. He's not making the obvious mistake of lurking around inside the smokescreen, waiting for a battleship to charge into him. He used the smokescreen to disengage and get out of spotting range in order to reacquire Hentel once the smokescreen had dispersed, which means there are going to be more torpedoes on the way. And since you're never going to outspot and catch a destroyer, even in a fast battleship like the Derpitz, that means Hentel's priority now is flipping this cap, which he is of course doing. Done. Okay. They've got a 2-to-1 kill advantage, and they now have the points advantage from the 2 cap circles, which means the ball is now firmly in the Xianyang's court. Now the Xianyang's the one that has to start taking chances, otherwise he's going to lose. And Hentel is probably hoping that since he has no hit points, no heals, and is a very, very juicy, fat and obvious target for a destroyer, he's probably hoping that the Xianyang is going to make a mistake that he can... There it is! There go the secondaries! Yep, he just got himself spotted. I don't know if this is actually a mistake or more of a calculated risk by the Xianyang. I mean, you can see what he was doing. He popped a couple of shots off and then instantly hid in his smoke screen, and is continuing to shoot at. And not missing by much, because, I mean, a partial heal there from commander talents, but he still only has 10,000 hit points, so it was kind of worth the risk. So now what's the Xianyang up to? Oh, Hentel's spotted. The Xianyang just left his smoke screen in order to get a target acquisition lock, which means there are torpedoes on the way. Ordinarily, this would be when you start changing your course and speed, but given how far away that smoke screen is, and how fast Hentel is going, I think you can probably make it to the cover of that island over there long before the torpedoes get here. And now Angela Merkel's turned up. Do you want to head towards that smoke screen and see what you can spot? I mean, the Xianyang will see the Angela Merkel first because it's got better stealth, but it also only has 3,000 hit points remaining. Undetected. He's not in the smoke anymore. Yep, he's behind the island. Which is really, really bad news, because Hentel, in anticipation of having to shoot a destroyer, has just loaded the 15-inch high explosive. Oh, and there it is! I mean, the Xianyang was in a tough spot, but that was a fairly convincing win. Doubly impressive when you consider, well, a couple of things. First, one of his teammates was calling him an idiot at the beginning of the battle. He achieved the Fireproof, Close Quarters Expert, Dreadnought, Kraken Unleashed and High Caliber awards, and sank the entire enemy team earning himself 2,700 base experience, while the person calling him an idiot at the beginning of the battle didn't even make 333. Comment section? You know what to do. So congratulations to Hantel there for more or less single-handedly wiping out the entire enemy team in that Tier 8 ranked battle on the Trident map. Hope you all enjoyed it, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.